Hi, my name is Bill from VR's Custom Bars. Today here we've got a customer's bike. It's an 08 Fat Boy. He's purchased some custom handlebars, like an ape hanger type bar, and he wants us to install them for him. So I'm going to go over a few things fast, moving right along, what you're going to get into in removing the controls, where the wires go, how to remove your wires, hopefully without removing the whole tank totally. Show you a few key points, and I hope this video will help you out in your handlebar installation. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is on the fuel tank. As you can see right here on the fuel tank, there's this is your fuel line that comes off of your tank right here. A lot of people were wondering, how the heck does this thing come apart? How do you get that off? This little collar spins. This little chrome ring. Lift up on this chrome ring, off comes your fuel line. You lose very little fuel, just a little bit. So that now has unhooked your gas tank from your fuel system. Okay? So now then what I've done here is I've already removed the bolt, and obviously I've removed the seat. The seat has to come off before you can get to these bolts. There's a bolt right here in the back of the tank, and there's 2 bolts in the front of the tank. We've already done that. What we've been doing lately is been able to lift the tank up and slide it back to get to the wiring harness in the front. Because the reason why we're telling you this is because there's a line that goes across the front of the tanks. And that line has got to be removed to pull the tank totally off. And then you also have some more wiring up here in the speedometer and the ignition switch area. And if you can stay away from that wiring, it's probably best to try to keep your project simple. So what we've done, we've already removed the bolt in the front, and now I'm going to proceed to lift the tank up and slide it back enough, and I'll show you on the other side where the wiring is. So what we do is we got to kind of pick it up like this, and what we've been doing is just easing a tank back far enough. We may have to remove the little overflow tube here, which I've already loosened it up, but pull this tank back as far as you can get it. As far as you can get the tank to come back. Now, looking right inside here, you pull this little rubber thing back, and here's all your wires. These go up to the handlebar switches and switch housings and that. It's much easier if we can get this off of here now than removing this bottom line. When you remove this bottom line from the fuel tank, believe me, you're going to lose a lot of gas. It's going to make a big mess, and it can be a dangerous mess. So these are your 2 lines, your 2 switches. These are for the lights, the signals, whatever, starting. And then on the other side, you can also see here are your throttle cables. They go down here from the throttle, down into your ignition, or down into your throttle or injection area there, throttle body. And also here's your brake line that comes down through here. Here's your brake line. I've already loosened up all these clamps. These little clamps hold it on, make it cosmetically nice. Here's the front brake hose. We're going to have to change that front brake hose because we are going to go with a lot longer bars. In this case, this customer is getting a 14 over longer cable. So what we've done while we're right here, I'll show you to remove this system right here. I've already loosened it up so things move along pretty smoothly. On this side over here, these are adjustment pieces. Beneath these 2 little black cosmetic things, these are adjustments. And these adjustments adjust the cable so you got no slop or a lot of slop. And what you have to do is you have to loosen these up all the way in order to unhook it inside here. And inside this thing here, you have is a situation where you really can't hurt too much inside here. I'm going to pull a few screws off, show you what's inside here. A lot of people are worried something's going to fall out. I mean, things are possible, but you have to just look and be careful. So as I open this thing up, you're going to see that here is our cable. It gets a little tight because the wires are inside the bars. As you look right here, there's our throttle hookups with a little banjo type connections. Okay, nothing's falling out. The switches are all locked inside the harness. But what we got to do is get this off of here in order to get the handle off, and everything's going to come out. Now on this bike, the wires are already in the bars. On most of your bikes, probably the wires are on the outside. which makes it a little bit easier in coming apart. So, and this thing here is just your front clamp that holds your master cylinder to the handlebar. Nothing to worry about here. Remove the 2 bolts, and this thing is going to fall right off. And this will give you some more room to play with here. You know, watch your clamps and your bolts and your tools. You don't want to ding up your tank. This comes off of here, basically like that. Now this one here, it has the wire hook to the for the lights, but that removed that very simple just by moving a clamp. And now you can see this side of the bar is pretty much coming apart pretty quick. Now, if I have my needle nose, which I might not even have to, since I've loosened this up all the way, as you can see, we picked this up. It's a little slot. This slides out. Now these things will come off. Don't want to lose them. You should get new ones with some with the new cables. If we end up sending you new cables, you should get some. This one here's the same way. I turn this, come out the slot on the top. You might want to remove this and hang on to it. So that means now, we'll get that off of there. There it is. Now the grip comes off, your controls come off, and that takes care of that. So that removes this side of the bar, of course. And then as for these things here, these things just pull out. Okay? They just go like that. There's little clips that keep them in. It's no big deal. And then now your throttle cables are now off of your controls. Your controls are basically ready to come out of the bars. Once you unhook it down here, remove the handlebars from the bike, I would recommend well, getting this off of here, of course. Once that comes off, then you don't have to worry. Here we go. Then we don't have to worry about that being hooked to it. You can actually take this thing right here, just for the heck of it right now, and just set it on the ground. If you're going to use the new one, the same ones, be careful you don't scratch them up. But now this is basically ready to come off the bike. I'm not sure how our time frame is. On the other side is the same situation. What we have here is a couple connection points here. This here is your clutch. Before I do that, I think I'm going to end this video and I'm going to show you how we remove the clutch cable, and then we'll do this side. So that was the throttle side, removing of that, backing the tank up, and showing you where the wires were and a few of the little tricks for the thing. So I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.